We rarely think twice about the foaming lathers and instant hot water we use to start our day. Modern soap works through a chemical process involving surfactants. These molecules act as a bridge, with one end that grips onto water and another designed to bind to oils, allowing grime to be rinsed away effortlessly. Because this modern chemistry is so efficient, we don't have to spend much energy manually stripping dirt from our skin. This reliance on chemical convenience has obscured the history of how humans stayed clean for most of our existence. To understand that history, we have to look back at an environment with no plumbing, no running water, and no controlled indoor spaces. In this prehistoric wilderness, there are no soaps or solvents available to break down the accumulation of sweat and environmental grime. Without these chemical tools, the question is how early humans managed to keep their skin clean while living outdoors for weeks at a time. The solution didn't come from a lab. It came from a sophisticated application of physical mechanics. The baseline for ancient hygiene was moving water, provided by rivers or heavy seasonal rainfall. Fast-flowing water carries significant kinetic energy. When directed against a surface, this force acts as a natural flush, physically dislodging loose particles. While sitting water can harbor bacteria, a rapid stream is capable of stripping away the top layer of environmental dust. This made washing relatively easy during the wet months, but finding active springs during a seasonal drought required significantly more travel and effort. However, kinetic energy alone is rarely enough to remove the thick oils produced by the body. Human oils create a bond that traps dirt against the skin. Without a surfactant to dissolve that oil, the grime remains securely attached. The ancient solution was to replace chemical dissolution with mechanical friction. Fine river sand acted as a coarse physical exfoliant. By applying a manual scrub, grains physically scraped away dirt. Smooth river stones provided a second layer of mechanical cleaning, scraping the skin to remove debris without causing lacerations. Once the dirt was physically detached through the scrubbing, a final rinse in the river completed the cycle by carrying the particles away. By substituting chemical reactions with targeted physical friction, early humans cleared away the same types of surface contaminants we target today. For more sensitive skin, large green leaves functioned as the world's first washcloths, allowing for a gentler wipe. Maintaining hair was also a mechanical challenge. Without care, long hair would quickly mat, trapping dust and sweat against the scalp. We can see the engineering behind early hair care in surviving artifacts, like this wooden comb. Its thick teeth were designed to withstand the tension needed to untangle hair and remove debris. The final step was to use direct sunlight to dry the hair quickly, preventing the damp conditions where bacteria and fungi thrive. This shows that the ancient world provided a full set of tools for those who knew how to harvest them from the surrounding flora. These hygiene practices were not just about personal comfort, they were a practical response to the risks of infection in a group setting. After a hunt, removing animal blood and wilderness debris was a priority to prevent the spread of bacteria throughout the camp. Washing hands before handling communal food was a primary way to prevent pathogens from spreading to others in the tribe. Because fresh water was a shared resource, managing the cleanliness of springs and streams became a communal responsibility that affected the health of the entire family. In a world without modern medicine, these daily habits provided a necessary layer of protection against disease. These mechanical habits were taught at the riverbank, passed down from parents to children through observation and practice. This generational transfer turned these survival tactics into a permanent part of the human experience. Eventually, we moved these practices indoors. This tiled bathroom represents an architectural shift, bringing the water into a controlled environment, even as the biological need for cleanliness remains the same. Today, we rely on chemistry to do what our ancestors achieved through raw physics and manual effort. Thousands of years later, it is clear that human ingenuity and the mechanics of nature were more than enough to manage the problem of cleanliness.